Hello, everyone. Welcome to SceneDaily.com. I'm Steve Wade, along with my colleagues Jeff Owens and Chris Johnson. Okay, next up is the Hell of a Good Sour Cream Dips at the Glen. That's a hell of a name, isn't it?
Can you say that again?
No, I don't want to.
Say that 3 times fast.
We'll be here all day if we do that. But it's number 1 in a list of 5 races that leads to the chase. Here's the difference. It's at Watkins Glen International. That is a road course. Guys, how does that change the dynamic as we go into the chase?
Well, it's certainly different than what these guys are used to, but you know, I think it's going to be a pretty good race. We came away from Sonoma thinking that was probably one of the best races we had seen all year long, and the double file restarts kicked in there, and we saw some exciting action. Typically, the road courses are going to favor your top guys, but I think nowadays, I think we've seen in the last few road course races that some of the underdogs, so to speak, can step up. I think this is a good track for Juan Pablo Montoya to maybe solidify his spot in the chase. I think it's a track where you could see a guy like Marcus Ambrose be somewhat of a spoiler. So I think it's going to be an exciting race.
The scary thing, though, when you look at the stats, Tony Stewart, his last 5 races there, 3 wins and 2 second-place finishes.
4 out of 7 altogether.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that guys like Ambrose, he was 3rd there last year, and you got a guy, Patrick Carpentier, is coming back to run the 55 car for Michael Waltrip. It makes it interesting to see a new blend of guys that actually have the road course racing ability and somewhat of a chance to get up in the mix.
Well, we're looking at the top 16 guys in points, not to mention the top 12. You got to look at this list and figure some of these guys just are not going to be listed as pre-race favorites, no matter how well they've done this year. I don't think Greg Biffle's going to be up there. I don't think Matt Kenseth is. Mark Martin has won 3 times at the Glen, but the last time was like 94 or 95, somewhere there. So, you know, you see a mix of guys that have done solid this year, but a lot of people aren't going to be surprised if they don't necessarily do well on the road course.
Yeah, this is definitely a track where some of your chase contenders could take a hit. You know, they aren't typically, when you talk about the guys in the chase, it's usually Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, who are the guys you talk about at the road courses. I think Mark Martin will be a factor. It would not surprise me at all if all the rest of them struggled a little bit, and the top 5 were some different guys that we aren't used to seeing up there. Stewart's probably the one guy who could come out with an even bigger advantage after this race because he's going to be the heavy favorite there.
You know what? I just want to throw this into the mix, and this has been talked about before, but with the double file restarts added into the mix now, and the racing as good as it was at Infineon, I think they got to consider putting the road course in the chase. I really do. I just think it's, especially in this day and age of the racing, you know, it's hard to pass the leader. At least you've got real competition on these tracks.
And the argument, again, for having a road course in the chase is that it offers all types of tracks that are part of NASCAR to be a part of the chase. Not dominated by 1.5-mile tracks or super speedways, a couple of short tracks thrown in, but throw in the road course and vary it so that these guys are faced with a test on every single type of track they run throughout the year.
Yeah, I think one of the most ridiculous things that we have right now is the fact that they only run 2 road courses every year. These guys are having to build extra cars for just 2 races. If it's going to be a part of your sport, they need to run these races more than twice a year. At least 4 like we do the restrictor plates, and I agree. I think a road course belongs in the chase.
Sonoma in the chase. Who wouldn't look forward to that?
That's exactly right. Well, the bottom line is, look for things to be a little bit different at Watkins Glen in the hell of a good sour cream dips at the Glen. I got it out. I said it again.
Got it. You got it.
Okay, for Jeff and for Chris, I'm Steve Wade. Thanks for joining us. Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.